Alright, exactly 1:30 a.m. on the 31st of October 2023. So I've been targeted several times to the heart, and I'm making logs of it. So already 5 times targeted to the heart since I started this. So what I'm going to do now, I just demonstrate that I have no problems with my heart. So here goes. Shouldn't really be doing this in socks because there are tacks that kind of stick up from the car underneath the carpet. Try and run down as fast as I can, up as fast as I can, so I can get the heart rate going. Casual jogging trousers, nothing inside it, with a lace. So I'll just do that now and continue. So normally what happens is my legs will start to get tired around the knees and the lower legs, and then I'll be out of breath, and then I recover my breath. So the only issue right now is my legs are aching a little bit. Hello. What do I do? Okay. So now, having had 5 attacks to my heart in the past half an hour, just sat at the computer on the 31st of October 2023, a Tuesday morning, Monday into Tuesday. I've been just gone through some exertion not long after those 5 attacks, while seated at the computer doing my research. There are no issues with my heart after exerting myself fairly vigorously there. And I'm just recovering my breath now, and I feel great, absolutely fine. Contrary to what the NHS believe when they sent me this letter last week. See what they tried to do. So at the start of the year, around March, I was at a store with my support worker, and we'd not been in there maybe 10-15 minutes when he got a call. He said, "Can you just excuse me for a moment, I've got a call." I said, "Okay, fair enough." So I continued browsing while he took the call, and then a few minutes later we met up again. He was still having the conversation on the phone, and he was kind of looking at me a little bit as he was speaking, and he sounded he whispered to me, it's the health centre, like that. He whispered it to me, said, "They sound really concerned," and he kind of chuckled a little bit. "Sound really concerned, it's really strange, something he probably never experienced before." So he said they want to know if you'll go in and have a health check. I said, why are they calling to have me have a, isn't that something that you voluntarily do normally? He said, "Well, they've been trying to get hold of you, and they wanted to they've got a free spot this afternoon, and they'd like you to come down and get a health check. I said, I'll have a health check later in the year. So that was March, and then when he put the phone down, he said, that's weird. He sounded really concerned. So I said, well, I feel fine. My health's great at the moment. I don't feel as though it's necessary, but I'll probably arrange something later in the year. So that was March-ish, and I'd already, I think at that stage, I was either working through Eric Hecker's videos from his channel, with him having given me permission to edit these videos to make them shorter so that I can then put them on my channel, Targeted World on YouTube. So that was around the same timeline, that was around March. The following month is when I decided to get in touch with my cousin in April, end of April, last week in April, on Facebook. And he said, the first thing he said, as I've always said, but I've said often enough in my videos, the first thing he said was, I was only thinking about you before. So in that same conversation, he then revealed later that he'd had 4 heart attacks. Something I knew nothing about in the last 2 or 3 years, maybe. I think. I'm not sure how recently his last one was before we spoke, but he said, yeah, I've had 4 heart attacks. So my belief is that there was mind control at work here that was being used on both of me and my cousin, so that it would end up having that in a situation where one would contact the other, which happened because I contacted Kerry. Having not spoken to him for 3 years, I suddenly got the impulse to contact him. And had I not contacted him, he may well have contacted me. Such is the way that mind control works. So it just happened that I contacted him first, and then he got that information across to me that he'd had 4 heart attacks. Now, I will get back to that in a minute, but 1 week later, he died, mysteriously. He was taken ill suddenly, less than a week later, and on the 4th, it would have been the 4th of May, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Remember that one? May the 4th be with you. So I'm not sure when he got taken in ill, but he died on the 5th, Friday the 5th, in the morning, the day after May the 4th. Of a heart attack. So he had a heart attack in hospital care because he was taken ill, he didn't feel well. His friends took him in to the hospital, and he never came out because he died in the hospital care. So that was just weeks after that phone call I got from the NHS, from the health centre. Well, they are the NHS, wanting me to have a health check. So I declined on that. Then a few weeks later, my cousin's dead. He dies after I contact him for the first time in 3 years, not 3 weeks. And then I'm also at the same time editing Eric Hecker's videos and putting them up. And I'd already edited, I think I'd actually finished by that point by the time Kerry had died. I think I finished around end of March. End of March. And the last few videos I edited, Eric Hecker was mentioning the heart attack weapon, and they said that it is real. There really is a heart attack weapon that can kill you, that they can use on you and kill you. So I was editing that, and when I was editing that, I was targeted to the heart several times. There were a couple of videos in which, or at least 2 videos, there were maybe 3 videos, in which Eric Hecker, while in conversation, mentioned, or just presented a podcast of his own, mentioned the heart attack weapon. And every time it was mentioning it, and I was editing that piece, that little segment, I was being targeted to the heart. With no delay, instant targeting. Basically responsive targeting. So, yeah, Kerry died. And then from that moment on, from the moment Kerry, not even from the moment Kerry died, but from the moment Kerry mentioned he'd had the 4 heart attacks, I was being targeted to the heart during that conversation. The moment he mentioned that, I started getting targeted to the heart. As soon as that message came through on the screen. That's what I'm talking about with the mind control. It was there for a purpose, so that they could then use this as a threat for me, which they've done to the nth degree since then, and it continues. Yeah, anyway, that was around March time, and then April contacted my cousin, and then for 12 weeks after that, I logged this recently, that for 12 weeks, for 3 months, 12 weeks is 3 months, 3 months after that, the target into my heart didn't stop. It was just basically intense. It became intense following that conversation, during and following that conversation. It was incessant target into my heart. So a few weeks ago, this is dated 10th of October 2023. I'll just mention also before I read this out that I did actually voluntarily go and have an health check, and I told my support worker I'm going to do it voluntarily so that I can just get confirmation that of my clean bill of health. But during the health check, she took 3 injections. She fucking used them things that they wrap around your arm, and it tightens up to take the pulse rate. But my God, she tightened it so fucking hard that my arm was killing me. My arm was in pain for the following 3 days, 3 or 4 days. My arm was hurting around that area, around the muscles. She tightened it that hard, and I'm sure it wasn't supposed to be that hard. But she then said I'm gonna have to take another blood test, and then she took another blood test. She took about 3 blood tests, 3 injections, and then also she took several tests of the arm as well. Well, I'm not sure about 3 injections. She might have took 2. I think it was 1 injection, maybe 2 injections at most. But then she took the pulse rate around my arm. She did it 3 times. So she tightened it up on my arm, really tight. Let it go. Tightened it up again. Said I'm gonna have to do it again. Tightened it up again. Tight, very tight. And then she did it a 3rd time. And then when I got out of that surgery, for the next few days, my arm was killing me around the muscles. The muscles around my arm were killing me. She tightened it that hard. Yeah, I think I got a letter saying that, can't remember, she said, either a phone call, I think it was a phone call or a text, that my blood pressure was higher than normal, and blah blah blah, but whereas in previous health checks it's been fine. So that could simply be a result of the target that's been going on. The excessive target, and that might be the very reason why they were doing it 12 weeks until I had that health check, so that my health was in a bit of an abnormal condition because of the targeting. So God knows what effects that has on your internal organs and etc. And the way it affects your health. But yeah, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was 12 weeks of incessant targeting, mostly to my heart. Some days it was just pure evil targeting. And always blatant responsive. So whatever I was doing, they were responding. So audio, reading, visual, conversations, just anything, any excuse to target me, and they did it. Even just doing my research as well. And that went on for 12 weeks. It didn't stop after 12 weeks. It was just incessant for 12 weeks, abnormally incessant for 12 weeks. And then I had my health check a couple of months ago. But yeah, I got this letter recently saying, booking your seasonal COVID-19 vaccination. Here we go. The COVID-19 vaccination. Do you see anybody wearing masks around at the moment? I'm inviting you to book your seasonal COVID-19 vaccination. It's now seasonal. It's part of our lives now. It's part of our lifestyle. It's a seasonal vaccination, COVID-19. It's like, yeah, this is normal now. Come and have your COVID-19 vaccination. It's all part of our lifestyles now. It's just like the flu jab, COVID-19 vaccination. This is because your NHS record suggests you may be at increased risk. So they'll say anything just to get you to that fucking health centre so they can inject you with this shit. This is because your NHS record, my NHS record there was nothing wrong with my NHS record, suggests you may be at increased risk due to a health condition or medical treatment. Well, I'm not having any medical treatment. So are they inferring that it's due to a health condition? Because the only health condition I have hay fever, and that's all that I know about. Go to NHS website for a list of eligible health conditions and treatments. A healthcare professional will check that vaccination is suitable for you at your appointment. You can book using any of the options below unless you have already arranged your vaccination. So look, they're making sure that you know how to contact them. How to get your COVID-19 vaccination. Book online. Use the NHS app. Visit www.nhs if you need support. If you can't get online, for 119 for help arranging your vaccination. COVID-19 vaccination has a proven safety record. Does it? Does it really? It gives you better protection than any immunity gained from a previous infection. COVID-19 spreads more easily in winter, even if you have been vaccinated before. It's important you get the protection you need because viruses change and protection fades over time. And then you got the flu vaccination. Yeah. What if you only choose to have the flu vaccination? Are they going to stick some of the ingredients of the COVID-19 injection just to make sure that you get your COVID jab in the guise of a flu vaccination? Won't put it past them. Breast recovered, no issues in my heart. Absolutely fine. I'll do the same thing again tomorrow. All right. It's Halloween, Snowy. It's Halloween. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween.